First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
Apparently, Governor Cuomo has a real connection with Snow White. I don't know if you've been following this story. Brian Cross is this is going to be a complete right-hand turn, like really sharp, might even be a Huey.
Yep.
Brian Cross on the line right now. Brian, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing, Bill?
Good. Our governor, of course, one of the authors of Snow White. He wrote the book.
I think he played the Prince Charming in it, too.
Apparently, there's a kiss in there that there's no consent, and now people are getting all up in arms.
That's a thing now?
Honest to God, yeah. So what's going on with this, Brian?
Well, Prince Charming, apparently, they tried to remove him from being the governor, and he stood his ground.
He did.
He's not going anywhere.
So everything's going well so far.
Yeah, he actually threw a glass slipper at someone, I heard. But I think that's Cinderella.
Yeah,
I don't know. They're all involves kisses. Listen, oversensitive we are. Are we not? I mean, we're maybe taking this just a little bit too far right now.
Well, we live in this binary culture where everything is fantastic or absolutely the worst, and people are always looking for something to get behind, get swept up, and be outraged at whatever the next thing is. And last week it was Prince Charming saving somebody's life.
Yeah.
If you follow the fairy tale with the non-consensual kiss, yes.
Now, is it okay for the witch to put Hansel and Gretel in the oven? Is that all right?
That's
going to be
fine.
okay?
Yeah.
When you really look at these nursery rhymes and these stories, these fairy tales, many of them come from very dark places.
Yeah, the Brothers Grimm is they're some dark stuff
to begin with.
Yeah.
So we've always known it, but you're getting this naive population out there that's just discovering it. Like, oh my God, this is terrible. We can't do this anymore.
And again, as
Brian said,
Brian mentioned, there's a plot twist. The 2021 version of this is Cuomo kisses the staffer and then says, "I just saved your job."
Yeah.
I made you who you are today.
So what's going to happen? I mean, Disney certainly is a company that works very hard not to offend, but you're talking about a Disney staple here.
Yes, well, and I think it's obviously a very interesting intro to bring Governor Cuomo into it. But it's a really good example, though. I mean, you compare how that is being handled to, say, when the Me Too movement was going on, and it came out that Al Franken had done some similar things, and the pressure came on, and he resigned. Whereas in the case in New York, Cuomo said no, right?
Yeah.
So you whenever something happens, the outrage swirls. A lot of these conversations have been revolving around, well, is Disney caving? Are these companies caving to this woke, left mob that's coming in, and they're snowflakes that are outraged by everything. But what's interesting is in this particular case of the Snow White, they haven't. And in fact, not only have they not, this is not an example of caving, but they haven't even commented.
Right.
The only comment, and it's not even an official comment, is one of the Imagineers who worked on the ride just said, hey, it's true to the story, right?
Right.
And then just kind of brought up the fact that the old Snow White ride that they updated used to scare the crap out of these kids. It ended with the witch dying, and they've updated it to this, and he thinks it's great, So, and even the article that was written that has us talking on the phone this morning, the very last line says, it's a beautiful ride. We hope that people view it in the lens of a fairy tale and not a life lesson. And I think that's the key. It's not a life lesson. This is just a movie that came out in 1938 that was based on a 17th century German fairy tale. There's going to be a few things that might not fit in 2021.
Absolutely. And does everything have to be a lesson and be perfectly fit? I think that we're our expectations on this stuff are way too high. And by the way, Prince Charming is saying that that just because he made Snow White feel uncomfortable doesn't mean that he harassed her, and he wants everyone to remember.
Well, and to Brian's point, I think Prince Charming is is less Governor Cuomo and more the person giving mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, like you said. I mean, he brought her back to life.
Prince Charming, I think, is on record as saying he saved her a bunch of really bad Tinder dates, I believe. Official stances, yes.
All right, interesting stuff, Brian. Thank you. We appreciate the woke moment here this morning. Thanks so much.
Yes, of course. Thanks for having me out. It's good talking to you guys.
Have a great day.
So what should the storyline be? Prince Charming approaches, shakes her to wake her up, and then says, what was her name?
Snow White.
Snow White, you mind if I wake you with a kiss? And she goes, I was sleeping, you loser. Why did you wake me up now?
The weird part about this whole thing is that it's a part of the story that the kiss, while she is, right? Yeah. I mean, I don't follow a lot. My wife's a big Disney fairy tale person. But isn't it when he kissed her, that's what woke her up from the deep sleep or the coma?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the witch gave her the apple.
Yeah, there was a spell.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about fantasy here. I don't understand why we're even debating this stuff. But we are.
It is fantasy. So what? Did we find out she was a Trump voter? So we said, let her go. Just let her go.
It might be. They actually wrote a song about that. Let her go.
Let her go.
Yeah.
Prince Charming was actually there to help her with a phone issue, I think.
You know, it is interesting, though. You watch what's his name? The one who resigned, the Democrat who, Al Franken. When quickly resigning, we were going through that Me Too thing where everybody, Kevin Spacey, looks like his career is gone. Looks like he's done some pretty bad things. And there are several others. I kind of felt like we were in a position where it was there was no place. If you were accused of this, you were done. But then you have, before that, you had President Clinton, who said, don't give up, keep pushing, no matter what happened, lie till you can't lie anymore, and then ask for forgiveness and stay. And that's what Clinton did. You have President Trump, who did not, there were some recommending that he drop out of the race, if you remember, before being elected. And he stood forward, and you do not give up. And now we see Cuomo taking a page out of that same playbook, and it is working for him.
Do you remember the Jimmy V Foundation? He was the, right, in the cancer. It was don't give up, don't ever give up. I feel like today's motto is, don't face the music. Don't ever face the music.
Yeah, I think it works. It's working for Cuomo's. People
don't be held accountable for your actions.
People are getting tired of the story, and there are all other distractions out there, and he seems to be getting away with it. It's crazy.
Since we mentioned Trump, I just want to mention this because it cracked me up. This isn't about Trump. It's about the current administration. Somebody has put up a meme, a friend of mine, and it's a guy on a ladder changing the gas prices. And it says, gas prices shooting up faster than a Biden vote count at 2 a.m.